In this video, we're going to be looking at a very simple 3D printing project, and you'd be surprised how many times this question comes up, how to do what we're about to do. Now, we're going to start off here in Inkscape, and if you don't already have a graphics application that you're familiar with, definitely download Inkscape. It's totally free. It has some amazing capabilities, and while it may look daunting at first because you have all of these different icons, the basics of what Inkscape's all about is fairly easy to grasp. There's a million video tutorials on every aspect of Inkscape you can imagine. And so with a little bit of time, probably, not even a whole weekend, maybe one day, you could be real successful, real quick and easy here inside Inkscape. But this is going to be a really simple little project. And what we're going to be making is a keychain, a 3D printed keychain. Like I said, now this comes up all the time in the forums, how to be able to do this. It's one of like the first projects that we want to do. Now, my daughter has a birthday party later this afternoon, and we 3D printed a candy dispenser for him. It's custom. It has his name on it. It has the Roblox logo on it because he really likes playing Roblox. But I just thought it might be nice just a little extra gift, make him a little 3D printed keychain. And like I said, this is really, really simple and easy to do. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up and show you how we can go about doing this pretty quick and easy. So we're in Inkscape, but we need some type of artwork. And so I went out here to the internet and just typed in, his name is Mario. So I typed in the Super Mario logo, and it actually is available here in Wikimedia as an SVG file. And that's what we need. We need that SVG file. So I went ahead and downloaded it. You can download it totally for free. And then we're going to pop back over here into Inkscape. Now, I really like using keyboard shortcuts. So we're going to hit Control I. That's the import option. And we're going to come down here to select the file in question, which is this right here. And it's go ahead and accept those defaults. And it comes in absolutely huge. Now, we don't need, obviously, the super part. So let's go over to Layer and Objects here. And first of all, we're going to right-click. You see it's in a group. So we're going to ungroup it. And then you see there's also two more groups. So let's just go ahead and ungroup that. And let's ungroup that as well, because we don't need those groups for what we're doing. And so you can see here, we've got all kinds of paths. You see that there? We got all kinds of paths. So there should be, oh, there's still another group. So let's go ahead and ungroup that too. So there we go. So now we don't have any groups, and we could come in here and just get rid of super altogether. So that's gone. We don't need the little trademark thing. So that's gone too. And let's go ahead and take our letters. And what we're going to do is hit Shift Control and just click on each one of those letters. And let's go ahead and just merge those together. So path and union here. And we're just going to make all those one. And then we'll go ahead and just give it some kind of color. It doesn't matter. We'll just click on one of those colored squares at the bottom there and give it some kind of color. And now we're going to grab our rectangle tool, and I need to cut off all this stuff up top here. Whoop. Just like that. Grab our selection tool and shift click on the black part of our design. Okay, and then we're going to come up here to path and choose difference. And just as a little note here, these are called Boolean operators right up here at the top. And if you really want to learn a lot about Inkscape, that's really, really going to help you, is watch as many videos as you can digest on Boolean operations in Inkscape. That is the magic search term on YouTube. Just type in Boolean operations and watch what union and difference and intersection and exclusion and division, watch what all those things do, because those are going to be very, very useful to you when you're trying to create various different elements here. So what we're going to do here now is, you can see here this drop shadow on Mario, it's a little bit thicker at the bottom than it is on top. And what we need to do is we need to offset the Mario letters, but we want to create this same outline thickness all the way up around the top, okay? And so it's really easy to do. So what we need is a path effect. Now, one really key thing to remember about Inkscape and path effects is you have to duplicate. If you want whatever it is you're going to offset, if you want that to stay, you have to duplicate it first because it'll go bye-bye when you add a path effect. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this. Hit Control D to duplicate. You could also right click and choose duplicate. But we're going to come over here to path effects. So right down there to path effects. And then what type of path effect? Well, we're going to do an offset path effect. And now we don't have any real idea of how much offset, right? So let's just say, I don't know, 2 millimeters? I really don't know. And that's it. So now if we look at this, let's go back into wireframe mode. You can see the little bitty tiny little offset. So obviously that's not going to work. So let's go crazy. Let's go back in and we will add another path effect, and this time, I don't know. Let's do something a little more extreme. Okay, 30. So you see, we're not quite there. So now we could do, let's try 40, because I don't really know what the answer is, but that's how you get there. So let's do 50. Okay, 50 is too much. So now we're going to back it off, and all we're looking to do is get close. We don't have to be perfect. Okay, 47 is really close. Let's do 46. I did 4,600 and something. We want 46. Let's try that. And 46 is not quite enough. So we'll do 47. And that's pretty good. 47 is fine. So there you go. So you see how now we have that whole outline across the top. Let's go back into normal mode here. And you go use toggle between those, display mode, normal, and outline. But I have a keyboard shortcut of Alt-Q that can also toggle between those two. Okay, so that's good. So now if we come back over here and just take a look at what we got here, you can see we have this path, and then we have the black path down here. So what we want to do is we want to merge those two together. So you select those two, and we can come up here to path, and we could choose union, and you can see now that we have just this piece and just this piece. And if we go into the outline mode, you can see that we don't have any artifacts or anything weird happening here. So we know that we did that all correctly. I'm just going to undo that move. And that's what we've got so far. And that's what we need. Okay. So now what we need to do is add a little loop for our keychain hardware. Okay. And that part is really easy to do. So we're going to go ahead and grab our circle, and let's just drag out a circle, and let's go ahead and make that circle, let's go ahead and make it 8. I tell you what, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's resize Mario to the finished size of our keychain, which in our case is going to be 100 millimeters, and 100 millimeters equates to basically 4 inches. So there we go. And then we can move this into place over here. So obviously our circle's way too big, so we need 8 millimeters. I always do my loops at 8 millimeters. So we'll go ahead and put that right into place here. And we won't worry about it too much right now. But I do want to make another circle. Okay, and we'll make that circle, we will do at, say, 3. Okay, 3 millimeters. All right. And then what I want to do is I want to take this circle and I want to center it up with the bigger circle. So I just select the small circle and then the big circle. And I guess the right way to do it is to come over here to align and distribute. You see that there, that little weird icon. If you don't see that, you could just click that little arrow and then align and distribute that way. Or if you really want extra credit, you can get used to using your keyboard shortcuts, which is Shift Control 5, and that will line things up as well. So we'll select them both, and we'll just go ahead and use this right here, and that will line everything up. and then we could choose path, and we could choose union, or excuse me, not union. What am I thinking? We could choose path, and we could choose combine. And what that will do is it'll knock that out for us. And so now we can move our loop into place. And it can overlap a little bit. We just need a hole to put our keychain hardware on. And then shift click our black. And then we'll go back up here to path and union. And you can see there, now we have our little keychain holder, and we are good to go. So now I can go ahead and export this as an SVG. So we can go ahead and come up here to File and Export. And we're going to export as an InkScape SVG. That's fine. We are going to go to our desktop, and let's call it Mario Keychain. Now, I've already saved that as Mario Keychain, but we'll just override that. So yes, we'll replace what we have. And there we go. Our work is now done here in InkScape. Now the fun part. Now we can come into Bambu Studio here, and this part is so simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit File and Import. And of course, we are going to import the Mario Keychain SVG. So there we go, Mario Keychain SVG. Go ahead and click on Open. Now, when we open an SVG in Bambu Studio, by default, it's going to be one color, and it's going to be 10 millimeters thick. Well, how thick do we want Mario to be? Well, the black outline for the keychain, I am going to put that at 4 millimeters thick, maybe 3 millimeters thick. Let's do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Scale, and then for the Z height, let's go ahead and make it 3. Okay, so that is going to be the thickness of the background for our keychain. All right, and that should work out pretty well. Now you can see here that everything is white. So this the Mario part of the keychain, we're going to change it to black by hitting the 2 key on our keyboard, because you see here the black is our second filament color here. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to move Mario in the Z height, so it's sitting on top of our white. All right. Now, something that just as a side note, when we're talking about moving objects in the Z height, we cannot move objects in the Z height if they are not part of an assembly. So you could see, because we imported that SVG, it had 2 parts. You can see over here, this already created an assembly. So we have the background and then the text itself. So that's why we're able to move this in the Z height. Now, the way the Z height works here in Bambu Studio is if we take our background's 3 millimeters. So the starting Z height for this object is 1.5. It's always half of the original object. So the way this works is 0 is our build plate, and then we're coming up from there. So the Z height for a 3 millimeter thick object would be half of that, which is 1.5 millimeter. So to get to the top, we would have to be also at 1.5 millimeter for a total of 3. Okay? I don't know if that's confusing to you, but that's how it works. Now, for the Mario part, I only want that 1 millimeter thick. So we're going to change that. So we'll go back to scale and set the Z height for that at 1 millimeter. And we do want to make sure that uniform scale is turned off. And so now, excuse me, that's not correct. 1 millimeter will not get the job done. I'm sorry. So we need, so our Mario text is going to be 1 millimeter. Is that what we did? Yes, that's where we're at. Okay. Sorry, I got confused for a moment. So yes, our Mario text is going to be 1 millimeter thick. But now we need to move that in the Z direction. So that's where we go into move. Now, what is the Z of the Mario text? Well, first of all, we have to switch to world coordinates. And you can see that it's currently 1.5 because that's where it started at, okay? That's where it started at. So that's still where it's at 1.5. So we know that Mario is 1 millimeter thick. So half of that is 0.5. And then remember, we said we had to add 1.5 to get to the top of our background. So we have to add 1.5 would be 3, and then half for the Mario text, which would be 3.5. So if we type in 3.5, and now we look at it, and now you can see that Mario is in fact sitting directly on top of white. Okay? And that's it. And then, of course, the actual colors that we print this out can be whatever we decide we want. But that is how we go about making the keychain. And then you could decide on the keychain as far as additional properties that you might want to assign. In other words, this white, we might want to go ahead and print this out all solid, possibly. But I think for this example, we're just going to go ahead and do a real quick print. So let's go ahead and slice this plate. And there you go. So this one is going to take a total print time of 34 minutes. We didn't get any errors in regards to our slicing, if there was any issues there. So we are good to go now. So that's it. That is all there is to making a keychain here inside Bambu Studio using InkScape as our artwork source. Thanks for watching.